In this video, I'm going to share with you how to finally stop analysis paralysis in the brain. Now, in the last few videos in this series, I talked about overthinking as a fear response. It's a fear response that's happening in the brain. It's not something that's happening in the mind, which is why you can't think your way out of overthinking. So the key to breaking out of analysis paralysis and to stop overthinking is to actually calm your nervous system and shut off the fight, flight, freeze response that's happening in the brain. Now, I'm really excited because in this video, I want to share with you some of the applied neuroscience exercises I use with my clients to help them get out of overwhelm and to stop overthinking so that they can finally take action towards their goals. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is RC Gray. I'm a trauma-informed peak performance expert, and I work with entrepreneurs and individuals to overcome the invisible barriers that are left behind from trauma and that are holding them back so that they can finally achieve their goals without sacrificing their mental health. Now, before I share with you the exercises, I want to talk briefly about something I call the 87% rule. I will do a video on this soon that goes more in depth on this and how to tap into the power of this rule. But for now, all you need to know is how it applies to overthinking and analysis paralysis. So basically, your brain will accept a certain amount of risk when trying new things or when you are trying to grow or reach a new goal. And essentially, your brain and nervous system has to be comfortable or feel a sense of certainty of about 87% of the tasks, steps, or the thoughts when you're doing anything new or different. Which means taking action towards your goals happens when your brain and nervous system reaches that 87% tipping point. Yes, some people are more risk adverse and others may seek out risk and uncertainty because they get their needs met from things like being an adrenaline junkie. However, all that means is that we may require different amounts of certainty overall, and that your 87% and my 87% may not be the same. But our brains will only allow us to take action towards our desired outcomes when we reach that level of certainty. There are ways to build resilience and increase your risk-taking ability, but I'm going to save that for another video because that will take us into a rabbit hole. Overthinking and trying to figure out all the details is our brain's way of trying really hard to get to that 87% mark. And analysis paralysis happens when all of that overthinking opens up more questions than answers. So unfortunately, instead of providing us more certainty, it actually makes us feel less certain, which tips the scales in the opposite direction, causing us to freeze and not take any action at all. So hopefully that makes sense. And if you want me to do a video explaining the 87% rule in more depth and how we can increase our capacity for taking more risk, let me know in the comments below. Okay, so now for the good stuff. I want to share with you a couple of exercises that I do and I use with my clients to calm the nervous system and help get to that 87% tipping point to break out of overthinking and analysis paralysis. If you're in full analysis paralysis, the first step is to get your nervous system back in balance. Analysis paralysis can feel a lot like shutting down, feeling drained or burnt out, or even a full-on meltdown. Now, if that's the case, the part of the nervous system known as the dorsal vagal system is turned on, and it shuts down what's called your ventral vagal system. Now, we want to flip that and create balance. So here's an exercise that can help you do that. So start by sitting or laying down and placing your hands on your heart and taking a few deep breaths. Noticing your chest rise on your inhale and noticing your heartbeat when you exhale. Now, this brings your conscious awareness to your heart and breath. And this is a form of biofeedback, which is a tool used to increase your resilience and your response rate to stimuli. So after about 3 to 5 breaths, or about 30 seconds, move your hands to your shoulders so that your arms are crossed over your chest, and begin tapping your shoulders with your fingers. This is a form of bilateral stimulation, and it encourages better communication between both hemispheres of the brain, which increases your emotional processing, allowing you to think more clearly. Now continue doing this for about 30 seconds. Now we're going to intensify the tapping, and we're going to switch to body tapping. And we start by making a fist and tap down the arm and then up the other one in the reverse direction. We're going to complete this sequence 3 times or for about 30 seconds. This increased pressure and speed helps us to energize your nervous system and come back into your mind and body. Now, if you are feeling more overwhelmed and lacking focus, you may be feeling a sense of hypervigilance. This is when overthinking is in full swing. And this often looks and feels like panic. It feels like you don't have control, and it's usually when the color-coded sticky notes and highlighters come out. Now, when this is happening, it's your sympathetic nervous system, and your brain is going into fight or flight mode. It will feel like you just need to gather more information, like you just need to do a little more research, or like you need to just run through all the possible scenarios in your head one last time, and it's exhausting. Now, to get out of this state and into a clearer thinking state of mind, the goal here is to first activate the parasympathetic nervous system and restore the brain and the body to a state of calm. It's helpful if you can do this exercise outside or where you can see out of the window. Now we're going to start by standing and taking a deep breath and filling your lungs while raising your arms over your head. Now I want you to pause with your arms above your head and hold your breath for about a count of 3. And as you exhale, shake your arms vigorously. Now bring your arms back to your sides and then repeat about 3 to 5 times or until you feel a wave of energy or tinglies through your arms. Next, close your eyes. With your inside eyes, imagine you are looking at the center of your forehead. Taking a couple of deep breaths in, keeping your eyes noticing that spot. On the third exhale, open your eyes and gently adjust your focus to looking at the palm of your hand. As you focus on the palm of your hand, notice the lines and shapes and the details. And I want you to be breathing naturally and calmly. And we're going to do this for about 10 more seconds. Just breathe naturally. Now, I want you to move your eyes to a distant spot on the horizon. Expand your view and take notice of your surroundings, allowing your eyes to explore the space along the horizon. Taking slow, controlled breaths, notice yourself in this space. And I want you to spend at least about 10 seconds here. Then move your gaze back to the palm of your hand. And again, notice the lines, focus on the details, and also notice your breath. It should be relaxed and calm. And I want you to take an awareness of your shoulders. And if you feel like they're all scrunched up, go ahead and drop them and relax. Now you can repeat this several times over the course of about 90 seconds or even up to 3 minutes. And you should notice a significant change in your thoughts, but also in your body. Now, if you want to leverage this state and take action right away, you can jumpstart your motivation and jump into action by taking this moment to imagine yourself completing just the next step of your project or your goal or whatever that big thing you're working on is. What is the very next tiny baby step that you need to take? And go ahead and imagine yourself doing that specific thing. If the next step is to send an email, imagine yourself typing "thank you," your name, and clicking send. If the next baby step in your goal is to get a gym membership, imagine yourself clicking the Buy Now button at the gym's checkout page. So how this works is, in the first part of this exercise, we are working to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. This helps to turn down the overthinking part of the brain controlled by the amygdala response. By expelling some of the stress hormone cortisol from the body, we are able to turn down the fight or flight response in the brain. Now, the second part of this exercise activates your visual cortex in your brain. And your eyes are actually an extension of the brain, and your visual system, as well as your respiratory system, are affected by stress. Your eyes, including their shape and their focus, changes based on the amount of stress hormones in your system. This is part of the survival brain. And if you're being stalked by a lion, your vision would become tightly focused on small movements, and your breathing would increase to oxygenate your blood so that you could be prepared to run away. Now, the cool part about this is that both of these systems are actually a two-way street, which means when we are stressed, our bodies automatically adjust these systems to protect us. But it also means that when we want to regain control of our brains and bodies, we can activate these systems to reduce the stress response in the brain and the body. When we activate the visual cortex and do what is called panoramic viewing, we are regaining control of our visual cortex and sending information back to the brain to regulate it into a state of calm. Changing your gaze from near to far and noticing ourselves within that space increases both our interoception and our proprioception, which are our sixth and seventh senses. Now, exercising these senses helps us become more attuned to feeling our feelings in our body and to be mindful of our thoughts and actions before they spiral out of control into overthinking and analysis paralysis. Now, I know I threw some nerdy stuff at you there, and hopefully this series has helped you to better understand your overthinking mind, and that these exercises help you get out of analysis paralysis. And in upcoming videos, I'll be going deep on some of the things that I talked about in today's video, such as the 87% rule, and I want to talk more about interoception and proprioception, and how we can harness these for healing and for reaching our goals faster. So if you haven't already, subscribe for more touchy-feely super science. And if you're looking to break through some invisible barriers and put your trauma behind you so that you can finally reach your goals, go ahead and check out the link in the description below. I'm actually going to be running the next cohort of my workshop called Focused AF coming up in the fall. This is a 3-week live interactive workshop where we regulate the nervous system in real time, and then we harness its power to immediately take action on our big goals. It includes a customized strategy to meet you wherever you are at in your healing journey, and we build an overthinking-proof strategy and plan for you to execute and achieve your goals in 3 weeks. Honestly, you will get more done in just one session than most people do in a month. It's actually one of my favorite workshops because we have a blast. It's actually super fun and people get amazing results. So before I start sounding like an infomercial, I'm just gonna let you know that each cohort is limited in space because we do so much one-on-one work that we have to cap it so we can give everyone the attention that they deserve. So if you are interested in checking that out, there is a link in the description and it will take you to a page where you can set up a call with me or my team to see if this is a good fit for you. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and pay it forward. If you know a friend that could benefit from hearing this today, please share it. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.